Hi guys, basically at the beginning of this, just basically, build up your figures how you wish, make sure you base them how you wish, and I'm going to start by giving them a coat of Chaos Black spray. Then, using my airbrush, I'm going to use a bit of thinned down rust grey. I don't use the air paints because I just don't seem to work as well as just thinning your own, possibly because you can create your own thickness of what you actually need. It's like a second coat of primer, so another coat of rust grey on top of the Chaos Black. This will give us the base to proceed when we come to doing the rest of the greys to white. The next stage is to basically sponge on a Administratum Grey. So start off by, of course, getting this onto your palette, thinning it down a bit, and then using sponges. I'm using some sort of like foam that you tend to find in figure cases, the ones that you have to peel out, and that's going to be the basis for using my sort of texturing. And then you're going to just basically blob it all over, or just paint it all over, paint it all over your actual World Eater figure. This is going to give it battered feel and effect. This is what we're actually going for. We're not going for a clean World Eater, we're going for something that's actually quite battered and destroyed. Then I use Ceramite White, doing exactly the same thing, going over the top again, and just basically just dabbing it onto all the areas that I'm wanting to have white armour. And finally, I'm going to give it an edge dry brush of white Scar. This is just to pick out the edges, and then of course we're going to be doing more on the armour later, but that's after when we've actually painted the rest of the figures. Now I'm going to paint the shoulder pads with Cantor Blue. As you can see, I've masked off all the white areas because I didn't really want to be redoing that particular technique. It's a bit time consuming. So I've masked off all the actual blue, and there'll be another reason because we're going to be effectively replicating that technique with blue colours later as well. Sorry about the blackness there for some reason. Next is Keldor Sky, and we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be getting the sponge out, we're going to be getting a little bit of a Keldor, and we're just going to be sponging it onto the shoulder pads. Of course, making sure that you're masked so you don't get it everywhere. And then Ticklish Blue, this is going to be dry brushed onto the shoulders, again just catching those raised edges, and we're going to be doing some more with this later. As you can see from the armour, it looks kind of battered, a little bit worn, and it doesn't look neat or tidy. That's the type of effect that we are going for with these figures. So I'm going to be painting all the bits that I'm wanting brass and silver. Going to be painted up first with Lead Belcher, your typical Games Workshop silver staple. Now we're coming up to washing the figure. I'm going to be using a variety of different washes. The first one I'm going to be using is a really old flesh wash. I'm not quite sure what alternate colours it's just basically a very, very dark brown. You could probably create this by sort of watering down some of the browns, but this does create a nice odd looking brass, which I've used many times before. It does make it look a bit worn in the corners, and doesn't make it look nice and clean, which is perfect for the figure's look. Now, Dragonov Nightshade is going to be the next one that we're actually going to use. This is going to be painted on the power weapons just to give it a first base, because we're just doing a simple power weapon. We're not going to be doing a overly complicated power axe on these figures. Once that's dried, we're next going to add a Guilliman glaze to the power weapons, trying to sort of focus more at the top, leaving the Dragonov Nightshade as like a shade at the bottom. And I've also done the blacks in this particular time. All they were done is just dry brush with Dark Reaper, but it all depends on how you like to do the actual blacks themselves and what what black effect you are trying to achieve. I've even done the piping at this point. Now I'm going to start sponging on some lead belcher. There's a bit that I missed there. I did actually put some oil on all the metal works as well, the ones that I'm wanting actual silver. And I'm now going to start the sponging, trying to hit the corners if I can, just to try and give it more of a chipped and battered look to the whole entire figure. I'm going to apply this to everything. Next I'm going to try and, this is after you've painted your faces if there is any. I'm going to put Steel Legion drab just all around, just airbrushing it lightly, not very heavy, just all around the bottom of the feet. This will allow me to do the next stage quite easy. And then I'm going to use Rhinox hide, that's my basing material. So I'm going to airbrush that on, and then because I've already put the Steel Legion drab around, if I do catch the feet, it'll just look like dusting. So we're still going to be giving it that worn and battered feel. And finally, with the help of my daughter Katie, and she's lovely, we're going to get some corn red, put it onto a toothbrush, and we're going to flicker that on the figure. This is not something I would normally do myself, but this is something what the commission required. And there you have it. 5 very simple, well not very simple, but some battered, quick and easy sort of paint jobs. I hope you like this. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm on twitch.tv /Rootstem Gaming as well. And you can buy t-shirts from Teespring. Just search for Rootstem Gaming.